What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. This is Kay Unscripted. I am your girl Kay, and today we're getting into all things Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16, episode 8. If you're new here, welcome, and do me a favor, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like this video, and leave your comments below. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode. Let's get into it.
Kay Unscripted, no teeth restricted. In this journey, watch our stories unfold.
So we start the episode off with a little country song that Shamia made called Porsha's Birthday. And that had me cracking up because every episode, Shamia, one thing about her, she's going to sing, okay? Then Brit's on the phone with her husband Mike and she's spilling all the tea to her husband. And I don't know about y'all, but that's definitely me. I will definitely be spilling the tea to my husband, okay? So the other ladies come down for breakfast, and then we see Shamia on the phone with her husband, and apparently he's at a doctor's appointment with her daughter Shiloh, and she's updating the doctor about Shiloh's health. She was congested, and we know that Shiloh has had a lot of health complications. So it turns out that Shiloh has an ear infection, and Shamia is sharing how she's never had to face any challenges alone when it comes to Shiloh and her health because her husband has been a tremendous help, and we love that. She says that he wants to have a son and she feels like she has to give that to him. And I feel so bad for her and her family for what they're going through. But in my opinion, I think they should just count their blessings. They're already dealing with so much with Shiloh, and I just feel like it probably will be too much to bring another child, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, Angela is lounging outside and Cynthia sits in with her and they're talking about the night before. She's saying that she's a loyal friend, that's Angela, and she lets Cynthia know that Drew is on her way. So Angela says she didn't appreciate how the whole group was talking about Drew, and that's her friend, so she's going to stand up for Drew. And that's good and all, but you're also setting your friend up to be humiliated, because why would you invite her to an event that you know she's not invited to? But that's hidden here nor there. So Drew finally arrives and she's coming in like, howdy bitches. And Drew said that she was contemplating on coming on the trip, but she and Porsha has been friends for years, so she's giving an olive branch. Now, I don't see you coming with a gift because we later find out that you bought a bottle of whiskey while you went to the whiskey tasting. So what olive branch did you actually come to bring? But anyways, girl, you all might have been friends for years, but clearly Porsha is not feeling you right now. So anyway, Angela is getting her glam done and she's asking about her room, to which Angela directs her to. So she's cracking up because she knows that Drew got the room with the bunk beds. Drew walks into the room and she's looking like, what the hell? Anyway, Angela asks her, well, girl, have you spoken to Porsha? And Drew says no. And Angela says, I think you should, just to get the heat off me. So some of the ladies are downstairs and Drew comes to greet them. I don't know what she's wearing, but anyways, I guess this is what country glam looks like. I don't know, y'all. I'm genuinely asking a question because I don't know too much about country, right? Anyways, Porsha and her bestie Shamia, they're getting ready, and Shamia asks her if she will still be able to have fun with Drew being there, and she's like, yes. And I'm like, you damn right, Porsha, because me, one thing about me, I'm not letting anyone prevent me from having a good old time, especially if it's my birthday. So we see Drew and she wishes Porsha a happy birthday and they hug. Porsha asks her how was her flight and everything. So they're good. Porsha says she already said what she needed to say and now she's done with it. She's moving on. So all of the ladies get on a bus and so they're doing 2 stops. Some of the girls are going to Coyote Ugly and the others are going to whiskey tasting. So Cynthia asked her why she didn't come down for breakfast, and she said, "Well, girl, I devoured some ribs this morning." And then all of a sudden, we see Shamia trying to hold back tears. Now, I thought it was about Shiloh, but I don't know. Not that it's funny to me, but anyway, she said that she had spoken up about her relationship with her ex-husband and how it was related to domestic violence. And a certain lady wasn't trying to hear her reasoning as to why she divorced that man. But apparently the lady sent her a text to apologize, and she said it brought up old memories and the text somehow validated her. I don't know, but that was a little bit strange to me. That was weird. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but that put me off because I thought it was about Shiloh. But anyways, Cynthia's confessional pretty much summed up my vision of Shamia. She's always so much fun, but when she shares what she's been through, you'd be surprised that she's been able to keep smiling. Now, that could mean many things because for some people, they're just really good at masking their pain. And I'm not necessarily saying that's what Shamia's doing, but she did say, I think probably in the first or second episode, that she's very good at masking. But I'm just saying, generally speaking, a lot of people are just very good at masking their pain. And personally, I don't wear my pain on my shoulders. People really will not be able to tell when I'm going through stuff because I'm not the type of person to publicize my business. I don't want people in my business. And sometimes people wonder if I actually go through stuff. But the truth is, I do. I just don't complain. I will rant if I have to. I will cry and move on. Let go and let God. So I guess that's what Shamia is doing. All right, now Porsha, Kelly, and Shamia do Coyote Ugly, and Drew, Cynthia, Brit, and Angela go whiskey tasting. Porsha and them are having a good old time. They're having the time of their life. They're taking shots with no hands, and the other girlies, they're over there sipping whiskey. Drew's trying so hard to get into Porsha's good grace. She suggests getting a bottle of whiskey for Porsha, and the other ladies agree that it's a good gesture. In her confessional, Porsha says that she decided to treat the group to a cowboy dinner, and so while she, Kelly, and Shamia are chilling, Kelly's asking her, "Girl, what's up with your friends at the dinner last night? Are they Drew's friends too?" So, as of right now, Porsha seems to be cool with Drew being there because she's pretty much saying that Drew's been around she and her friend group, so this is why they were asking for Drew, because she's a familiar person to her other friends. She's saying that she's side-eyeing Angela though, because why would you invite Drew if you know that we're not getting along? So Shamia said, well, Angela was just saying that she felt some type of way about Drew because at the peace brunch, Angela felt like Drew was talking trash to Kelly about her. But then we see production showed us what actually happened, and it was Angela saying that Kelly was throwing shade at Drew and she was worried about Drew's reaction. Child, it's a game of telephone. Somebody always gets the message wrong. But Portia says that Angela was setting up Drew, and I said the same thing earlier. She was setting up Drew to fail, okay? Because why would you bring your friend to catch heat when you know she wasn't invited in the first place? Now, over at the whiskey tasting, Angela says she missed Drew the night before, and Brit's like, we did. Girl, keep quiet. You did not miss Drew, okay? Anyway, Drew's like, what happened? And she says that Portia is hurt that she invited Drew and that she was just trying to get them to mend their friendship without Portia's permission. And I think that's the important thing to note, without Portia's permission. Now, I get that your intentions may be pure, Angela, but Portia didn't know. That lady is still getting to know you. All you had to do was get her permission before the trip. Let her know what your intentions were, but you don't go around inviting people to another person's event when they're not getting along, and on her birthday trip at that. You don't do that. You're wrong for that, okay? Bree tells her, well, girl, you're acting like the victim, but you're not oblivious to the situation. So she brings up how she didn't get supported at the peace brunch. And I'm just like, girl, we're back on that. We've moved on from that situation. Why are you still bringing this up? Anyway, Angela said, no, girl, you walked in like you were entitled. So Brit says that Angela wasn't in support of her at all. And then Drew chimes in and says, girl, showing up was us showing support for you. So then Cynthia comes in too and she says to them, oh, y'all cannot tell that lady how to feel after what happened to her. When it happens to y'all, how about y'all tell me how y'all would appear in a room after it happened to y'all, or whatever she said. Now, I agree with Cynthia on that, but at the same time, Brie did come off hard, and she wasn't innocent in that situation either. You don't go throwing threats around and then not expect the person to react however they react, okay? Drew saying, yes, we did have some missteps, but we did miss our friend, and that doesn't minimize what we felt too. And they're entitled to feel different from you, Brit. They don't have to agree with your point of view. But Angela says to her that they both hurt each other and she does apologize for her part. Now, did I hear an apology from Brit? No, we didn't get an apology from Brit. But anyway, they decide to move on. So the ladies regroup and they're on the sprinter and Brit is lit. Clearly this girl cannot drink. They get back to the house and who's going to take a nap is going to take a nap. Who's chilling is chilling. But they're doing whatever before dinner at 8. Now, is it me or does Porsha sound really stuffy? I know she's been saying that she was sick or she has been sick for the past couple of weeks or whatever, and I know people didn't believe her, but she does sound very stuffy. We see her on the phone with her daughter PJ, and Dennis is also there too. Now, Cynthia comes downstairs and she is mesmerized by the cowboy bartenders, okay? Cynthia has googly eyes. She's just flirting. She's feeling herself. And I was just cracking up. But anyways, all of the ladies, they dress up and they're vibing. And y'all, here comes Porsha in a black dress. You could tell she didn't put any effort into her outfit. She was just done and over with it at this point. She looks mad and immediately the energy is off. Apparently, she had just found out that Dennis and Drew had filmed and she's trying her best. She's trying to get into the mood, but she's not. So they go to the backyard, or I don't know what part of the house it was, but there are some cowboys and they're about to learn how to line dance. And she's trying so much to get into the mood and to enjoy the entertainment, but you can tell that she's pissed. So the girls, they're learning to line dance with the cowboys and they're moving and grooving, they're enjoying themselves. Kelly's doing her own thing, she doesn't care. She doesn't care. But tell me why Drew didn't call that lady a troll. Why? So it's dinner time and everyone is at the table again. And she's asked what's wrong because everyone can tell that something is off with her. And she said, well, I'm just tired. And we know that's not true because we know the real reason why she's upset. So they're talking about the whiskey tasting. And now Brit thought she got somewhere with Angela. But Miss Angela says, well, we found out that sometimes I come off as a victim. But I don't know how I come off as a victim. So she's asking Porsha, how do I gaslight you? Because they're having a discussion and Portia's really not trying to talk to anyone. She's like, I don't remember. And, they keep asking her what's going on, what's wrong with her. Now, child, it's her party. She can be mad if she wants to or whatever the song says, okay? It's her party. So Brit says, well, listen, Angela, you kind of invited Drew to Portia's event when you knew she wasn't invited. And Angela's like, she never said that Drew wasn't invited. So Shamia said, she did say everyone on this call is invited. So obviously, if Drew wasn't on the call, then she wasn't invited, Angela. Girl, how are you not understanding this? And Even so, Drew missed one day of the trip because the trip was 2 days. She missed one day. On day one, you knew Porsha wasn't comfortable with Drew coming. You could have told Drew, don't come. Instead, you told Drew it was cool for her to come. She says, well, if I offended you, I apologize. Now, Angela, you know very well that this is not an apology, so stop. I hate when people apologize like that. They say, oh, if I hurt you, or if I hurt your feelings, or if I did something to make you feel, yeah, you did. Just say you're sorry. So she's like, oh, I'm just trying to hold Porsha accountable. Everybody doesn't get held accountable. How about Kelly when she asked Porsha that question? Oh, we want to know. The whole world wants to know the answer. Girl, speak for yourself. And as a matter of fact, these two situations are different. So Cynthia's like, I think we need to move on. Porsha, do you want to answer the question? And Portia's like, Angela can just kiss my behind. Okay? Angela's like, well, the rest of the world can kiss your behind. And Portia's like, you first. Portia's not playing because at this point she's just irritated with how things are going. Now here comes Drew wanting to address the elephant in the room. Now, I just feel like Porsha should have just said what it was and addressed the situation at this point because nobody knew what was going on. Drew, on the other hand, has a shot in her hand and she's asking Porsha if she's okay with her being there. And Porsha said, you straight. She was done with Drew. That's all Drew got out of her. So Drew's like, well, I got you a bottle of whiskey. I'm going to leave this with you and I'm going to go. First of all, if it was me, I would have left with my bottle of whiskey. And secondly, if we're beefing, why would I accept your gift? I don't know what you put in that whiskey. I don't know what's in there. Now, that's just me, and I'm not saying that Drew did anything to the whiskey. I'm just saying, if we're not cool, I am not accepting anything from you. Keep your whiskey, keep your gift, keep that over there. I want nothing to do with that. So anyway, Drew's like, well, if that's the energy that she's giving, I'm going to go. And if anyone has an issue with me, here's your moment. And Kelly's over there like, where is the fish? That irritated Drew so much. She's like, yeah, I'm out. This is immature. I don't have to deal with that because I wasn't invited in the first place. Period. You were not invited in the first place. So what you get, take. Okay? So Porsha saying that she's straight pissed you off so much? Really, Drew? Porsha is like, I don't know what this one is on, as in Angela, and then this one with the dramatics referring to Drew. I don't know what's going on, but I already have two men bringing me down. I don't have anything left in me. Kelly, on the other hand, is just trying to eat her fish. They separate. Drew is in her room and Angela and Shamia are checking up on her. And funny enough, Shamia is in the room with Drew. But anyways, Drew's saying that she's already dealing with so much in her life and what's happening right now isn't fair. Drew, you should have known better. You are not a victim here. Why did you come to that lady's party? And why are people saying that Porsha was being mean? She didn't say anything mean to Drew. You came on this trip knowing that you weren't extended an invitation. So girl, that's on you. Porsha is in her room and Cynthia checks in on her. And I don't know why people don't understand what Porsha was saying, but she explains it again. That lady is going through a messy divorce. And if anyone should understand it, it should have been Drew. Okay, Drew said she made several attempts to inform Porsha. But girl, you could have sent a text. You also knew that she was not okay with you filming with Denis. Instead, you went ahead and filmed with him anyways. Yes, she's holding Denis accountable, but you're also posing as her friend. You would be pissed if she did the same thing with Ralph. I don't know why she's not understanding that. In fact, Porsha, at this point, bring Ralph on your YouTube channel. That way, you all are even and we could just move on from this. On the lighter side, it was nice to see the friendship between Cynthia and Porsha. Porsha is saying that she's happy that she's having a good time, but she now has to go back home to the bullshit with Denis. And y'all don't like Porsha, So y'all are not even trying to understand what she's saying. She doesn't have an issue with them working together. Just don't come and film on the show, because we've seen, first of all, Drew has been shady. Secondly, Dennis doesn't even care for Drew enough to defend her. When they filmed, he told Drew, "You go handle that alone." He wanted no parts to play with it. And at the end of the day, he will choose his daughter's mother over Drew. Anyway, Cynthia encourages Porsha and she told her, "Girl, you've got this. Keep going. You don't fall down, you fall up." They share a cute moment. Then the ladies change into their swimsuits and hop into the pool, except Angela. She's ready for bed. So the girls are having a good old time. They're talking, they're drinking, they're having fun. Now the next day, y'all, apparently Angela was creeping and filming the girls from her room. Then we see Drew. I thought Drew left. What is Drew still doing there? So Drew, you just stayed in your room. You didn't come down. You're still there. But anyway, Angela says the girls were talking about her while she was on the phone with her husband Charles, and she heard Porsha say she will sleep with Charles. Now, y'all know Porsha was just joking. Please. I know some people are saying, "Oh, Porsha has a history." Angela said that too. "Oh, that fits her character, right?" But y'all know she was just joking. She wasn't being serious. She was just probably being shady. But Angela's like, well, she does have a history of taking people's husbands. So when she says that, you have to be on your guard. Porsha, however, said she never said anything about Charles, but Kelly confirmed in her confessional that Porsha did say it. So Kelly goes up to greet Angela and she's like, "Hey girl, good morning." And Angela's like, "Good morning, but I don't want to be fake." And Kelly's like, "This is how I am. I'm just saying good morning." She's like, "Yeah, but I don't want to be fake. Please go away." And the episode ends with Angela driving off in her car and she's saying that she came to the girls trip grown and she's going to leave grown. She said, "You're a puppet, she's a puppet, all of them are puppets." And that's how the episode ended. This is all I have for you guys. Please let me know what you think about this episode. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about it. I also have another recap coming, so look out for that. And thank you so much for tuning in, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Bye.